Hello everyone, JazzMan back again here with another commentary, and we're going to be watching a game today between Senesino99, who is playing Full Faction Underdepths, and Acid, playing Sundered Lands and Forsaken Waste Split. And just first few deploys, we actually see both players deploying 7-speed champions and rushing that mid-font here on Kathira Hill. Not the usual play. Usually people get their side fonts here before rushing mid, although it's worth noting that as player 1 you need a 7-speed champion going mid, otherwise with just a 6-speed you will not be able to match the normal 6 or even 5-speed deploy from player 2. And that is intentional, by the way. This map is designed to heavily favor player 2 rather than favoring player 1, as most maps tend to do. So we see Bloodbinder Count getting into that font. Probably the smart thing. He doesn't want to take extra damage from the Underdepths font if he can avoid it, so it's better to just get in there himself rather than let Senesino be the first one to do so. Timothy the Vile, meanwhile, going to grab Acid's close font here. And he actually has Cripple upgraded. Usually Soul Vitality is the option people go with, so we'll see if that pays off for him. Ritual of Power as well, that's standard, I would say. And on Senesino's side, it might be the case that he has an initiative champion, something like a Bach Raider or a Nephrite Messenger, perhaps, to snag that font for him. Underdepths, usually known for their deploys of that nature. Nephrite Cave Runner, perhaps, also a possibility, although you don't really see Cave Runners these days. Not that they are a shadow of their former selves. So he's going to walk into that font, and yep, there's the messenger. Right on cue, walking into that font, and with reinforcement as well as initiative, she will have full AP on her next turn to reinforce this mid-font fight. Very nice. Timmy grabbing the side font, and Timothy is probably one of the cheapest split heroes in the game, right next to Magnus the Fallen. He's 75 Nora with this build in particular, and brings quite a lot of value from those just those summons alone, having Bodyguard and the swarm potential from the festering corpses. Fairly safe with 6 range as well, although he does have Helpless, completely unable to fend for himself, having his harem of simps do the work for him. He's a Twitch streamer. Nah, so basically we have Bloodbinder Count doing, what was that, a Blood Magic? Yes, Blood Magic. Prepping that Priestess with the Bloodied condition for later. Still too early to tell what the split is in particular. Sundered Lands, Forsaken Waste, you don't really see that split too often. It can work with something like an equipment or a relic debuff style deck. But other than that, I can't really think of any obvious synergy between the two. Although, at one point in time, I tried to work together a sort of a death benefit split between the two, utilizing Bloodfiend and Forbidden Fruit. Since Bloodfiend, being extremely cheap and able to generate AP on his own, makes for quite easy one-turn kills from 8 spaces away. Very nice little combo. We'll see. Maybe Acid is taking a leaf from my book and running that combo. But for now, we'll just see Priestess, the 70 Nora Priestess, by the way, upgraded with Poison 2 and Multi-Attack 2, getting a couple hits onto that Bloodbinder Count, thanks to the drive. So Bloodbinder Count down to half HP, and Bloodbind, his signature here, not quite up yet. I think it's like one maybe 2 turns away, so it wouldn't behoove Acid to despoil quite yet. Despoil being the dead magic zone generator of choice when used in conjunction with Bloodbind. Cation Blood Guard here for Senesino. Little bit of blood synergy of his own. Dictate. So more AP generation for himself. And there down comes the Boghopper Simp. And just barely out of range there, though, of the Bloodbinder count. So not going to be bodyguarded yet unless he decides to back up and maybe drop a relic in that font. Which it would probably be a good play, otherwise I feel like that Bloodbinder count is going to bite the dust next turn. He could do it, he's within range, and then Bloodbinder would be protected from 22 additional damage. So instead we see a Mind Shackle onto the Priestess. So it'll be paralyzed for its next turn. However, it is worth noting that paralyzed condition is removed when the champion takes damage. So we could see a Maddening Echoes or probably a Fire Blast, something to hurt his own Priestess, make it unparalyzed, and then finish off that count. But he does actually end up deploying the Slum Market into the font and doing that same bodyguard play, like I said. So I'm thinking more now at this point that it is probably some kind of relic/equip synergy deck for Acid here. Not doing any training yet from the market, probably because he wants to save the Nora. These abilities do cost Nora, 6 Nora each. And Senesino taking a quick turn here, simply moving his units forward. Not really doing anything else. Not deploying anything new, nothing stealthed. And kicking the turn back to Acid. So now he has a little bit of a decision to make here. That market is sort of blocking his Bloodbinder count. I'm thinking he'll probably just do a Blood Spear. And keep that count safe until Bloodbind comes up. Boghopper Zombie coming in as close as possible to ensure that Bodyguard does not get removed. And we do see the Blood Spear there, healing up the count a bit. Now, leaving that Priestess at 12 HP, not really advisable versus Underdepth, so you always want to try and finish off their champions where possible. Things like Sacrifice, Retribution, Avenging Flame. They have a lot of ways to take advantage of their own low HP champions. But in a case like this... Oh, yeah, so here comes down the Despoil. And the Bloodbind coming down onto just the Priestess. He did have the AP to nab the Messenger as well. But now it's just even more worth it. Try and take advantage of that Priestess death. But the Dead Magic Zone is actually going to prevent sacrifices or retributions or anything of that nature onto that Priestess. So that Priestess is pretty much gone. And oh, actually he does do an Acrid Smoke onto these champions here. Now, if he wanted to, he could have actually Acrid Smoked right here, unparalyzing his own Priestess and potentially moving it back for a sacrifice. Or maybe just taking out that relic, you know? But because the Priestess he had 7 HP and Acrid Smoke does 6. So I'm not going to say it's a misplay, but more like an overlooked opportunity, I suppose. Instead, he puts a hit into the Slum Market with the Blood Guard, as well as Messenger finishing off that Boghopper Simp. And so Skeezic Vanguard actually coming down for Acid last turn. And that Punishing Aura is going to make short work of that Deep Elf Priestess there. And Senesino deploying the Deep Elf Fanatic before kicking the turn back to Acid. And Timothy the Vile getting a nice little swarm there onto the Priestess. And yeah, so there's a 44 HP festering corpse in the font. It will not contest once that relic goes because it is a summon. However, it is just another body, you know, that Senesino has to worry about. Ebel Fanatic can pounce it if he chooses. Meanwhile, the Bloodbinder Count, blood magicking again, doing a bit of damage to these champions here. Slum Market training Timothy to strike harder, faster, better, stronger. For the low cost of Poxnora. As well as training the corpse. Trains the corpse to assault. Now that is a basic attack, so it should trigger Rabid. No, I probably would have put it on the Vanguard. But, just because the Vanguard, I mean, it's a real champion, it'll last longer. There's no risk of it being ritualed, shatter summons, you know. And that Timothy is in strike range of these champions, taking 30% additional damage from all sources. So we'll see if he tries to kill that or if he tries to go for the count. I'm thinking he'll try and go for the count here. Count is out of Manic range, out of Pounce range at the moment. Price of Victory, however, could maybe change that. He does have the drive from the Messenger as well. With that corpse being where it is, Manic will almost certainly end up hitting that corpse instead of the count. So he'll have to make, Senesino will have to make do with killing the count with just these two champions if he decides to. It looks like he will be trying to get the kill here. He's got 12 damage from the Blood Guard. So 10 HP going to be remaining on that count. Probably a fairly easy kill with something like a Fire Blast, a Superiority. Maddening Echoes, perhaps. Three champion Maddening Echoes does, I believe, 12 damage. Of course, that will leave the Nora Globe for Acid to collect. So the corpse does get its assault hit with Rabid off. And Blood Guard, probably going to put a hit into that count. Potentially get a kill off of it somehow. And yep, there's the Fire Blast, which also has the effect of killing that Slum Market. Ebel Fanatic moving to the font. Will Manic towards this corpse. So it will collect that font for Senesino. And now, if I were in Senesino's place, I would be thinking of trying to maybe swarm that Blood Guard and drop another relic into that font. He does have the Dictate double hit this turn. So there's the relic in the font, an unstable power source actually. Generating a little bit of refund Nora from draw power. Dictate going down, going for a double hit, so he'll get 18 damage here from the Vanguard. And Timmy will do another 10. So that will actually be a perfect kill. And a perfect swarm. 18... No, it does... Yeah, 9. And yeah, I was right the first time. I always have to second guess my math when I'm playing this game. Better to measure twice and cut once, as they say. So we have Netmaster coming down. The lead the charge, giving it some free AP. And Timothy getting a second swarm. So actually, Senesino deciding to surrender, realizing he's unable to beat down Timothy and his simps. So nice little quick game here, and hope to see you all in the next one.